Hey folks, welcome back, and we're going to continue on with Wave 3 of the Transformers Titans Return line. This time we're going to look at Deluxe Class Triggerhappy with his Titan Master partner, Blowpipe. And what can I say? This is going to be an easy one, because very rarely, only every now and again, we get a figure come along that is everything that's right with the franchise we know and love. And here's a perfect example of it. I'll explain what I mean when we take a look at him in the latest GotBot True Review. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Dennis Mullen, aka GotBot. Please check me out everywhere. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor. Like, comment, subscribe. And by now we are into Universal Collision, my stop motion series. Have a look at that too, and hey, spend some time on the page. See what catches your attention. And I just said that this guy's everything right with the franchise we know and love, and he is. So let's just move this out of the way for a moment, and here is the packaging. It's packaging, nice art on the front. On the back we get the product shot and a little write-up. The long story short about this guy, and of course he comes with instructions, and he comes with this, his ever popular collector card. Very fantastic looking artwork on it, to be honest with you. On the back, I think all of that is pretty accurate for the character that we have here. Not the best known character, but honestly, the long story short with this guy, if you're not super familiar with him, is that he loves to shoot things. He loves using his blasters immensely. It started at Decepticon boot camp. He was on a hoverboard and blasted away half dozen, I think, Decepticons, and was graduated there on the spot. He became a target master and was partnered with Zarek's envious brother-in-law, Blowpipe. Blowpipe, a lot more methodical. This guy, not methodical at all. Aims, okay, he doesn't aim, he just shoots, and he loves to do so. It's been proposed that he might have processor damage after falling off the hoverboard and hitting his head. Now, that being said, originally he was a target master. Blowpipe was a target master that turned into a compression cannon. This time, when the Titan Master is bonded to him, he gives the, larger bot the ability to have the power of a compression cannon. So in a way it still sort of works. And if you're thinking to yourself, yeah, but it's not a gun, that's okay, and we'll get into that in a minute. Let's talk about his paint apps first. 10. If you know the character, the animation, this is a 10. This is spot on, right down to the fact that he has a face plate instead of a face. We'll look at Blowpipe a little bit closer in a few minutes. That being said, posability, playability. When he's a plane, he's a fine plane. It's a plane. In this mode, okay, he has a waist articulation. His legs can go... See if I can move his arms here for a moment. His legs can go way out to the side. They can go, forward, way back. Super duper deep knee. Thigh swivel. The toes tilt forward, the heel spur tilts forward, the arms can go all the way around, all the way around. They can go way out to the side. There's a really deep elbow bend. There's a bicep swivel. The wrists can bend in. But that's really for transformation. The head itself can go left and right, ever so slight down, ever so slight up, and I mean ever so slight. He does pretty much everything you want. Honestly, articulation, 10. If you want to say 9.5 and be picky and say, hey, he should have had ankle tilts, I guess you could. But honestly, 10. And everything is tight. The tolerances are fantastic on this guy. Absolutely fantastic. Again, he cannot be modded to keep his Titan Master Partner on because really the legs end up there, the feet end up there. He compacts together really tight in transformation. But I don't mind because Blowpipe was actually a character. Yes, he's supposed to be a target master. Let's take this out of it for a moment. Let's go in closer here. What a beautiful paint job on that head. Even the eyes. The eyes are gorgeous. Faceplate, gorgeous. This is fantastic. We open them up and of course we have Blowpipe. Yeah, he's hinged at the hips. He is hinged at the hips. Exact same articulation with a little ball joint head and ball joint shoulders that go out ever so slightly. You can get in a seated position. You know, again, this is maybe a 2 or 3. You know what? I'm going to give it a 5 because if it's such thing as a Titan Master, you know, being done right, this is pretty much it. And I'm probably being lenient because the rest of the figure is so good. I'll bring him back in. By the way, if you have been curious, I did not get Breakaway because he's a repaint with a new head of this guy who I looked at in episode 176. He's a great figure. If you didn't get him, pardon me, then Breakaway is a great kind of stand-in for this mold. I think the head on it might actually be a little bit more chrome domish than this head. And if you're connected to the character, hey, he's worth getting. But I talked about him as well as the Voyagers of Wave 3, being Optimus and Megatron, when I looked at Twinferno and Daburu. So I'm not going to waste any more time on that. The rest of the transformation for this guy. Before I get into it, I said don't worry because he has a lot of guns. Well, you can store his actual guns. And I guess I'll take him off his wings for the moment. I'll take them off. And I guess actually I'll take him out again. And we'll focus on these for a second. Here's the way the blaster looks. There are 2 of them. They go together. They go together to look like this. There's a couple of pegs down there that we can put this guy on. He does not hold on those pegs well. Personally, I'm never going to have this together and I'm never going to use him in it. But that's just me. Maybe you will. I'm going to keep them apart. And while he certainly can hold them, can he hold them in his hands? Yes, of course. And I'm going to just bring him in here with them in his hands. Well, he certainly can hold them in his hands. Maybe you don't want them in his hands. Well, if you don't, then I think that the best place to store them, and you could store them right here on these arm guns. You certainly can put them right there and that works just fine. But for me, I leave them in a hole back here on his wing. It's the place basically you store them when he is in plane mode, and I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And I'm doing it for a reason. Put that in. I'm doing this for a reason. He's supposed to be target master. He loves having his blaster. So you can take his arms forward, let's say. And right away we have 2 blasters down under here, pointing forward. His hands can flip in, and his hand over here can flip in, and these guns on his arm can flip out. At the end of the day, he has 6 blasters facing forward. 6! That's fantastic for a guy that loves blasters. We're going to actually leave that now, and we're going to bring the wing out, and we're going to bring the wing out. This is the start of his transformation. A lot of people have said that this mold could be used for Cyclonus. I can see it. I kind of hope that it's not. I don't think I'd be in for Cyclonus being a Titan Master, but I can certainly see how it would work for him. That being said, where do we go from here? Well, we take the shoulders out and we unhinge them, and then we bring out this little armature down here that's on the side. And now his arms are just sort of free flowing off to the side of the body. And we take the waist and we turn it around. That's the easy stuff done. That being said, the rest of this is still pretty easy. Here comes the brilliant part of this transformation. You take this whole section and, can I do it yet? We bring the back up, we unhinge the lower waist, I guess. Right, we unhinge the lower waist. You can see that that's open there now. And we turn, really, the entire body around. Like that. Now, you can see where his head was. In right here. That's not going to really work for us now because we need to bring these legs up. Now, here's one thing to keep in mind. When you're transforming the legs, take the heel spur and put it all the way back into the leg. Heel spur all the way in. If you don't and you just fold it like this and then fold it back like this, it's not going to fit. This right here, as it is, would not fit. You need to fold it all the way in. Then you can begin to bring the legs up. Actually, I guess you can put them together. You can snap these legs together now. There's a couple of pegs and a couple of holes there on the legs. You snap them together and you begin to bring these up over. They're going to kind of come up at a bit of an angle and you bend it down. You can see the angle that the legs are on. You don't bring this waist piece all the way back up. It's sort of on a 45. The legs are sort of on a 45, and then the knees, because they can come back so far, brings all of this in. And it fits beautifully. How do you secure the legs? Well, when you bring these arm pieces back, there's a little tab right there. Little tab right here by my finger. It's going to go into a little hole right here on the leg. And that can be, I'm not going to say fiddly to get in, because that's not the case. Bring that whole armature back, and just doing it here from a bit of a distance is a bit of a chore. Hold on one moment. There, I got that one in, and I got that one in. They're not hard at all. It's just I needed to be able to see what I was doing a little easier. Then on the gray section there's a little tab, and on the forearm there's a little tab. You push that forearm on. You push that forearm on. And then you bring the nose section up the rest of the way, and boom! There you go. Here is Triggerhappy in his vehicle mode. Placing the Titan partner in here can be a bit of a chore, so I would suggest kind of bringing the nose section back down, putting this guy in a seated position. You might want to bring his arms up a little bit, and you can fit him in easier. There's a little notch at the front here that his feet can kind of tab into. Once you have that done, now you can bring this back up over and bring this all the way down, and he sits in there perfect. Easiest way to put him in there. He does have a front landing gear. Mine was misassembled and in upside down, and instead of facing down here, it was facing up here. Toward the front of the plane. So that popped out on me and I had to put it back down, but that was just a little misassembly thing. Sleek looking jet. Absolutely sleek looking jet. Transformation is easy for everyone. Everything is solid. 10. Absolute 10. Honestly, a long time ago I gushed over Generations Warpath and said that thing was everything that's right with Transformers. So is this guy. If you're only going to get one Titans Return figure, period, get this guy. I think he is perfect, and I would be hard pressed to see anyone disappointed with him. Anyway, like I said, love everything about him. The paint apps, the look of the jet, the look of the robot, all the joints are perfect. The transformation is solid, involved, ingenious, yet easy. I don't know if you can hear my enthusiasm, but hopefully you do. Anyway, folks, that is it for this guy. Thanks for dropping by. Thanks for giving me some of your time. You know by now that I very much appreciate it, and I really look forward to the next time that you and I get together for another visit right here inside the video.